Hello everybody, we're driving and doing an update. So hello, welcome to the channel, and let me get right to the point to keep this under 10 minutes, which never happens. Updates, and then maybe a little bit about the subject matter of today's video, which I'm going to title What to Do on Your Time Off. But really quick here, just some of the amazing views you do get when you drive. I don't know if you guys can see what I see, but as I crest a little hill here, leaving Bismarck, North Dakota, just what an incredible view of super far away. Some kind of mountains in the far distance, but just an incredible view of flat plains there. That was just amazing to me, and I thought I would share. So yeah, what to do in between loads. Okay, Mr. 18-wheeler, he's gonna pass. I thought I was going above the limit. Mr. Flatbed 18-wheeler is going a little faster. It's all good.
There's a speed trap ahead.
Hey, there's a good reason for me doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna even back off a little bit so he can get over without having to go too fast. Because sometimes I'm friendly like that on the roads. For all the times that I'm not friendly, I can be a jerk, I know that. Believe it or not. So updates, where am I, and some things that I've been finding, I'm going to tell you about. I'm in Bismarck, North Dakota. A little bit about Bismarck. You know, I've always kind of try to get the vibe of every city I go to. Some I like, some I don't like. And Bismarck, North Dakota, thumbs up, man. I like that little town. It's really quaint. The roads were good. Everybody I encountered was level-headed and friendly. I didn't see cops anywhere. I saw one drive-by one time. I heard no ambulance, cop sirens through the night. There wasn't a glut of traffic during rush hour. I mean, this town seems to have a lot going for it. It doesn't seem like there's a lot there. And it seems like its biggest thing is a commercial district, which you'll eventually get sick of, I think, if you live there. But great for visiting because they had absolutely everything commercial that you want. All your staple restaurants, your Texas Roadhouse, your Olive Garden, your Applebee's, whatever you like there. Your Taco John's for fast food. It had none of these I went to, but Planet Fitness is there, and all your staple hotels, your Lowe's, your Home Depot, your Harbor Freight Tools, and of course a Walmart and everything else you wanted there. So really good. I just enjoyed my time in I keep on calling it Billings, but that's in Montana. We were in Bismarck, like Pepto-Bismarck. Anyways. So enough about that, but I can't stress that I did enjoy something about it. Was a very positive vibe in Bismarck. So we're headed to Fargo is what we're doing. I'll rewind you a little bit. We eventually got a load out of Ontario, Canada. We took a really tiny load that paid me from my house in Rochester, New York, to a little town in through the hills of Pennsylvania, which I thought was a really spectacular drive. We had a trouble at loading there. They made me wait for an hour. It was a little, but the ride made up for it. But it was a tiny little, $100 journey for half the day. I don't know if it was that good or not. But anyways, from there we got the tiniest little. This was one of the best runs ever because all I had was two little 10-pound boxes of whatever little sheet metal parts of some AC ducts or something like that, and had to take that into Bismarck, North Dakota. And I had plenty of time to do it. My van was loaded super light, so you get the best gas mileage that way. And you're not worried about, if you run into trouble, some kind of accident, if your freight's tied down good enough, if it's going to fly forward at you. None of those worries. So, and there's room to move when you stop, if you want to sleep. There's room to move around if you want to get to something on your shelving in the back room. That's another great thing about tiny little loads like that. And finally, no smell either. Some of these loads come from stinky, dusty factories, and you get that kind of odor in your van too. And you worry about that as you're trying to sleep, whatever dust is coming off these boxes of whatever. So all of that was great on the way here. And it was 1,300 miles of all that too. So not like a little 600-mile one-day load. Oh yeah, plus I had, because it was the weekend, I left on Friday and I had all day Saturday, all day Sunday. It was delivered until Sunday night. So that gave me some time on Sunday when I arrived to just hang out and do my own thing. And I think, was it Sunday or, well, today's Tuesday. So I think it was Monday I went to or was it Sunday? I can't remember. You know, those kind of things happen when you get old and you do a lot of this running around. But I went to the zoo one time, which will bring me up to things you can do in certain places. I thought, you know, it was somewhat of an expense. You know, it's $9 out of your pocket to go get into places that you want to go, museums, zoos, little sightseeing places sometimes, parks, national parks. But the other flip side is, you know, I might not be here for a while. I might not come back again. So I want to catch these things while I can. And it was cold, as it is in the middle of winter in this part of North Dakota. However, it wasn't that bad of a day. It was like 40 degrees and the wind felt warm. So, that being said, I decided to grin and brave the zoo, and I'm so glad I did. Before I get, so that'll lead me into things to do out here on the road. But before I get into that, I want to talk about some things I've noticed with that were somewhat unusual to me. There must have been a meeting or something at my dispatch office because I've noticed like an unusual turn of friendliness. Oh, let me pause that story. I got an 18-wheeler passing me, and I realized the sign just said 75, and I'm only going about 63, 64. So I was about to speed up, but I don't think that would be fair to this trucker guy, so I'm going to let him pass, get over to the right, and then I'll speed up, because I try not to be all about myself in life, and especially on the highway. So, cool. I didn't get the trailer flash. I gave him a light flash, but it wasn't high beam, so I didn't give him the right flashing, and maybe he didn't even see him. You know, you like to get that little trailer flash. Anyways, he's probably put off and I'm going so damn slow on the highway. But no one else is behind me, so now it's all good. I might just keep this speed. What the hell? If no one's behind me to be annoyed with and having to pass. Okay, so there's been a slight change. I just got people responding to me. One dispatcher actually called me up, and we were talking on the phone, and he brought up that he was just remembering that he wanted to actually apologize for. He'd been meaning to do this since my week in Fort Stockton in Christmas. If you remember my videos a couple weeks ago, where I was pretty much groveling and lamenting about my time in Fort Stockton. Although I think I was balanced, that there was some things I was liking about it. It was warmer than I enjoyed a warm Christmas, and some things about it like that. So he wanted to, and I made the best of it with that nice little journey I took around the mountains there on the last Sunday I was there. But it's still, since I was sitting there a week, he let me know that he'd been meaning to tell me that wasn't intended, and it was simply a mistake on their part, and he wanted to apologize for it. You know, especially if I had kids at home that I was trying to get to or anything like that. And I let him know that I didn't, for better or for worse. Maybe I should have just said, yeah, I got kids, so they'll let me go home more often. But anyways, I don't, and so it wasn't that big a deal. But I would have liked to have been making money. Instead, if I was going to sit, maybe it would have been better to sit at home and enjoy a week off at that time. So I don't know. And the weather wasn't that bad, so I could have gotten some things that I wanted to get done. But either way, I really appreciated that he had said all that, even though it wasn't totally necessary. It's so many weeks past. It's just a bygone right now. And then another dispatcher who is always curt and to the point, which I'm okay with, is even sounding more friendly on the phone. So I don't know if they had an employee meeting telling them that they could stand to be a little more friendly with drivers if they didn't want to. Maybe they're realizing that they're losing some drivers. I don't know, but yeah, fine with me. So that's pretty cool. That being said, what to do when you're in between loads? There, for me, is plenty to do. And it depends on if the weather is warm or cold. In cold weather, even some of the things I like to do that don't involve going outside are still hard to do because you have to, if you're going to stay in the van, you have to spend your money on diesel heating the van. I found a temperature cutoff point. If it's 34 degrees or above, or it's not exactly 34, it's somewhere around in the mid-30s. If it's there or above, you don't have to have the heat on very high, and it's comfortable. You can be comfortable in the van doing your thing. If the outside temperature is lower, you really have to have the heat cranking. It seems like it's never warm in the van. And also, it depends on your van's insulation, too. Mine is not very insulated on the roof. It's got decent insulation around the sides, but not on the roof, where most of the heat escapes. So, what I'm going to tell you, somewhat is limited. If I'm in, here in Bismarck, I didn't really want to play my guitar as much as I kind of wanted to because of the fact that it was just more comfortable to go inside a coffee shop. Now, I recently bought 2 new books due to the passing of a drummer from one of my favorite bands here. I know you see my shirt here. I got my Rush shirt on. Right? Due to the passing of that incredible drummer from Rush, known as Neil Peart. Say his name with me. Peart. It's like an ear with a P and a T. So, all the people claiming to have all these great stories, but keep on pronouncing his name Peart like it's 1986. We all did back then. But, anyways, I'm getting on a rant there that kind of gets under my skin there. I think when someone's passed on, it's pretty helpful to be really respectful and get the pronunciation of their name correct. Anyways, I bought 2 of his books, and cool thing was in Toronto, right after going to a park there to one of my between load things, seeing the Lee Lifeson Art Park. So I guess what I'm getting at, there's always really is something to do in between a load that won't necessarily cost you any money other than driving there. For example, going to see a little park that's in the area, especially a free park. But you have to have the mind that's interested in those things too. I know from what I've seen, there's quite a few people that probably the majority of people aren't like me in this industry. But they have their own things to do. They're cool to sit in their van and check out their Netflix, watch a football game. You guys, I'm sure that's something many of you will find a way to pass the time. With me, I'm not into that stuff, so I'll go to a Planet Fitness. Have yourself a workout membership. And all these things I'm telling you to do, I've found that, you don't have time to do them all. Actually, I found that if I try to do these things, if I sit upset and try to just get mad and fall asleep in the van, I sit in the town for 4 days, it seems like, just getting more and more upset inside myself. If I can jump out of that mindset, which I'm better at now that I'm getting used to this job, I find that I'll go and do things, and in the middle of doing something, I'm getting called, hey, gotta get out of there. Oh, you're having fun? Time for a load. And hey, that's great because the reality is I'm here to drive and make money. So so it does tear you away a little bit once you get into something fun to do, or you get into a book at the library that you're really enjoying. And next thing you know, you got to tear out of there and get on your way. But so it kind of works out. I guess my point is that you really shouldn't have too much trouble finding things to do in between loads, because if you try to do things in between loads, you don't have time in between loads. You're like, why? How would I even have time to do all that stuff? If you're if you don't find anything to do, you can't even make yourself interested in any of that stuff, and you end up just. Sometimes I am tired, and I just have to fall asleep in the van, and that's good. You want to maintain your rest when you can. Sometimes you don't even want to do something when you want to. You just want to sleep because they're going to give you an overnight load, and you're going to need to be rested if you don't want to be tired, upset, grovelly, half dangerous out there on the highway. So, you got to just keep yourself interested in some things, and you'll find your time in between loads is all taken up. For example, there are some chores that you'll need to do in between loads. Many of these, I use Planet Fitness for my showering and, of course, much needed workout. Even though I always bulk at the workout, I try to skip it. I look at it and I'm like, oh, I'm not going in there. I just don't. And then I get in there. As soon as I work the endorphins up, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so great. Why was I thinking of not going here? So it's really strange in that regard. But if you can get your mind to get over the laziness of getting in a workout, I go there, and that's usually about an hour of my time. Between the 45 minutes I'm working out and the 15 to 20 minutes I'm showering, I'm in there and changing and then using the massage chair and the hydro massage on the way out of the gym and leaving the review. I'm good for an hour and 45 minutes there of time. From there, you probably will need to do laundry every 5 or 6 days. I pretty much have a box of dirty laundry that if I'm usually not home to do, I'm going to try to find a laundromat to go do that at. And by the time you search out the cleanest laundromat in the city and something that's clean and nearby, within reason, you will have probably eaten up another 2 hours of your time. So, and then you'll need to stop at Walmart. You'll kind of, if you're making money, you're going to be consuming little edibles, going through laundry detergent, going through paper towels a lot. Paper towels seem to be an indispensable necessity here on the job. If you go through a lot of paper towels like I do, bathroom breaks. I'll tell you about that in some other video. I gotta go to Walmart to buy things all the time. So by the time you get in and out of Walmart is another hour. So you've got 3 hours in between loads. And if you want to sleep for 8 hours, well, there's a good 10 hours, 12 hours of your time gone before you've done any kind of recreational anything, right? So if you've got now more time between loads, I want to catch up on some new books I bought. I bought some old books and I never even started reading them because there's been things at the library I wanted to check out and read. So I've been going to a library and reading those books. But now that I've bought some books and want to read them, I'll go to a coffee shop. Now a coffee shop's going to run you about about $6 was my tall coffee I just got. I think it's a little overpriced, but and I got 2 of them, so you might spend up to $10, $11 there. And you might just learn to go with something cheaper too. I didn't have to get a fancy drink. So if you get something cheaper, you can probably get away $3-4 sitting in there and get an hour of your time just reading books. It's a good thing. Read, man. Makes you feel good. And another thing, shopping for good food to eat. I think that buying food and keeping it in a small refrigerator and either eating a lot of cold food or getting one of these little Hot Logic boxes like I'll show you here. I just got this little Hot Logic. This thing is awesome. It's indispensable. I love it. I knew I would. I've been using it the last couple days. I'm getting used to what I'm gonna eat going down on the road and trying to make it cheaper than fast food and healthier than fast food. And I think I'm nailing it with the old staple of, drumroll please, and I'm not of Spanish descent. I grew up on pasta and meatballs, but rice and beans, baby. Rice and beans. And you can really make rice and beans, you think sounds so plain, but you can make rice and beans so good. So good. With all kinds of stuff. I try to be a vegan. That means no cheese. That's hard. If anything, I could give up the meat. I definitely love eating more plants. I guess I'm going to do this in another video. I'm going to do another video about eating healthy on the road. That'll be next. I'm going to record another one right now. Because that's a whole nother 20 minutes of talking. So let me not go there right now. But skipping the cheese is hard. Anyways, you'll need to stop and buy all that food. So I like to practice my guitar. I brought a guitar. And I had this quiet little battery-powered amp. It was working, but there was something lacking about it that kept me from jamming. So I spent my money on an amplifier. But I was in a couple of towns where I really missed out. I was near Rochester, Minnesota. And it must be, you'll remember, you're going to go to some places that have different economies than what you're used to. And this place must have been rural enough that they weren't selling a lot. Their practice amps were cheap, $50. I could have picked up an awesome little amp, but I passed it on up and I was regretting it ever since. So I stopped into a music shop when I got to Tennessee, which was kind of sort of a flubbing economy there, but they had ridiculous taxes. It was like 9% or something, but I still found a reasonably priced guitar amp there. So I bought one. And it's loud, cool. It's got everything I need to doctor up the sound and make it sound great. Plus, I've noticed that it really does not drain down the battery like I thought it would. I can play for as long as I need to play, and I don't notice any ill effects. Same thing with that Hot Logic. I thought it was going to be a kind of like an electric blanket, or worse yet, a heater that you can't run without running the car battery, or it'll just drain your battery down in 2 hours. No, I can have that Hot Logic on. It's usually on when I'm driving anyways, but I can have it on overnight, and I am not noticing any major drain in the battery, unless I have to run the heater all night long on level 8 or 9, then or higher. Then it'll start giving me the low battery alert in the middle of the night, and I might have to run the van a little bit. So that being said, definitely some things you can do. Buy a guitar. It's kind of cool. Learn a guitar. There's plenty of these days. You don't need a teacher. You can go right on YouTube and learn the basics of guitar. If one guy doesn't teach you find another lesson in between getting told the same thing by 18 different people on YouTube. You can start getting your own idea on what and how to do it. And, yeah. And brain stimulation. You want to do things that are stimulating to your central nervous system in your brain in a positive way. Like eating health. The more positive things you do, the better you'll feel. The better your mental state is, the better this job is. Let me tell you. It's like a pathway, man. You can take the pathway of groveling, and all of us are moody and will inevitably go there. I go there. I'm bitchy by nature. I'm an Italian, so bitching is like in my blood, to bitch about everything. And I mean bitch about, and even when you're happy, you bitch. But, you can find that pathway where you're groveling, upset, and then you're just kind of going for this quick fix food where that's just greasy and unhealthy, but it tastes real good on the spot. Then you're going down the road going, why did I eat that? Now you got another problem that you feel kind of sick. Where are you going to use the bathroom? Is it going to be a terrible experience? Are you going to have an embarrassing experience? Are you going to need a doctor soon? Are you feeling sick? It's just a vicious cycle of feeling bad or a vicious cycle of feeling good, if that's even a vicious cycle. Just, feeling bad compounds itself. Feeling good can compound itself. If you do things that make you feel good, like maybe you're still a little hungry, or maybe this food didn't have the flavor blast you were looking for, but you've got good food in your belly, and you start thinking more positive thoughts about everything. You are learning things when you read books, and you get ideas to think about while you're going down the road, and suddenly the miles aren't as uncomfortable anymore because you got things on your mind, and 30 miles will go by without even without you really being bored or anything like that. So without grumbling over problems. And when you're traveling like that, you're making money, you're paying your bills. So you got another good thing to think about. It's like, hey, yeah, all right, that bill's going to be paid. Hey, I'm going to get ahead here. Hey, this great thing is going to happen. I can afford this coming up. And when you can afford things, like, you can buy little perky things that help your job out. And sometimes you can even, these things just appear from loads. A friend of mine just got a great piece of foam from one of his loads that they decided to have to cut a little bit of foam, and he got a free piece of memory foam he can use for his bed or his seat in his as he drives. So that's totally awesome. Maybe you can afford one of them neck cushions that seems to be really a benefit. Maybe you can afford what was the other thing I was thinking about earlier? Seat cushion. This wasn't it, but a subscription to audiobooks. So those will really help you. Right now I listen to a lot of YouTube as I drive, but that can be somewhat distracting. Go hands-free, of course. So there you go. I'm going to leave this video at 30 minutes now. I've been rambling. That's longer than any of you want to listen to me ramble. But anyways, those are all the type of things that, positive things you can do out here on the road to help your experience as a van expediter. And things that you can do to take up that idle time that you think you're going to have, but the more you get to fill it up, the less idle time you'll even have. So it all works out, and on and on from there. I didn't even mention organizing your van. There's always, your van gets to be a mess pile so fast between washing your van, organizing the inside, cleaning and vacuuming the inside. There's a whole nother hour of time gone by. So I'm telling you, man, if you really have time between your loads to take care of all that stuff and still have idle time to do something, you might want to find a new carrier. Right? That's not, you're not being kept busy enough. So I'm finding lately I've got plenty to do in between loads. It's once in a while there's a city with no Planet Fitness and not really any good laundromat in sight. I'm going to wait until the next city. So I can still find things to do inside the van. There's plenty I haven't read, and if I don't feel like reading, probably need to go to sleep. Alright, and if you're not sleeping and there's still nothing to do, at the very least, go for a walk, because you spend a lot of time sitting down in this job. Any walking you can do is a benefit to your health. So just get out there and walk. Get your heart rate up, because once you walk, you might not think you need to do that, but when you walk, not only are you getting that great exercise, but when your heart rate goes up, that is helping you think more positive. You get more blood flow to your brain, helping you think more thoughts, more ideas, more positive things will come to you. Because it's what, endorphins, right? Endorphins start pumping when you get your heart pumping. So have fun pumping the endorphins, folks. We're going to go to the ocean and watch the endorphins hop in the waves. Oh, those are dolphins. All right, pretend you never even heard that. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy your days. Leave me comments, like and subscribe, all the things everybody says when they do a video. And have a good day. See you.